Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, and I'm continuing working on my Kerby Rosanes mythomorphia. Specifically, ta-da, I am working on my little troll with the eyeshadow background. As you can see, I've worked my way through part of it. And I wanted to show you this so you could see what this little puppy is supposed to look like. But of course I left some open areas so I can go ahead and do this on camera for you. All right. So I was practicing some backgrounds, blues and purples. Been having a lot of fun doing this. Excuse me, I had to grab some water. And what I ended up doing, which everybody seems to love, is I added some pinks in there and a little bit of green. Don't want to add too much because we got our green fellow here. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right. Camera is being a little bulky. That's okay. This too shall pass. But we'll see our way through this, and I'll get a really good video for you. All right, so let me, there we go. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you how I've been doing this little puppy. Been having a lot of fun doing it. Let me pull out while I'm getting my stuff. I decided that I wanted to go ahead and use eyeshadow because I wanted the softer background than really what I could do with pencil. Plus I figured it would be a little tedious trying to color all this in. All right, so I'm using my BH Cosmetics eyeshadow. It can really be any brand. I mean, I got this off Amazon, but you can go to Walmart. Whatever's on sale, guys, just make sure that you don't have any creams in it. And I've been told that it's a good idea to have mica as the first ingredient. Don't know how accurate that is. I'm not really sure. Oh, okay, this one says talc and then mica. Oh my gosh, look at all these ingredients. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay. All right, well, that's all right. This has been working really well for me. And by the way, no problem with a spray fixative. So just in case that question came up for you. All right, let me get my colors out. Let me pull out so I can show you the full array. And for those of you that have not really used eyeshadow too much, or use it, you know, on a limited basis, you can also use the browns for coloring skin. So there's an idea for you. All right, let me get this little puppy out here. As you can see, I've been working on it already. But again, I wanted you to see what I was doing. It's a very straightforward process, but there are several details I want to show you, so don't blow off this video early because you'll miss some important information. All right, so the first thing I wanted to show you, and I'll show you this on the other side over here, is when you put down the eyeshadow for this piece, if you're doing this piece, or I would really recommend for any piece. Notice that I always run the color, well, most times. Every once in a while I don't, but that's okay. But most times I run the color past the object that I am coloring. Zoom in, zoom in. There we go. Zoom in, zoom in. Just gotta be a little firm. So notice right here that I ran past the tree here, and that way you won't have something just stopping at the tree and going on the other side. Let me see if I can find an example of that. Okay, here's somewhat of an example, but see, this pink was working down this way, and I went ahead and extended it here. But you can see it side by side. And it's a little bit better if you can extend it, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. All right, zoom out, zoom out. So I've been going ahead and putting my color down, and I'm gonna go on with my next little bit. Let's see here what I want to do. All right, I'm going to go with blue. And all I'm doing is putting it on my finger. I'm back blending it into the previous color. And then getting that rubbed in there. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, zoom in, zoom in. I'm going to grab my, I call them Q-tips, but they're not really, they're makeup applicators. And they have a pointy on one end and then a flat side on the other. So you can see that as I turn it. It looks like a little paddle, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is dip into that same blue. Or I could even go with a lighter blue if I wanted. And I'm gonna go ahead and start applying it in between my coloring book elements. Now, one of the ways that I hold my applicator is, instead of holding it like a pencil, which is going to be a little bit hard because it's short, I put the end I'm not using in my hand, and then I grasp it with my fingers. See how I'm doing that? There's a good example, an angle for you. Works for me. I just want to show you that if you're having any problems. Okay. So you can get pretty darn accurate with these applicators. Zoom in. Now I'm trying to keep my eyeshadow off of any of the elements as much as possible, but it's going to happen. You know, you are going to get a little overlap. No biggie. There we go. And then I'm going to blend that upward. And as you can see, I used a slightly darker blue than what I had before. Okay. Now, eyeshadow is very easy to erase. I love working with it. And it really does blend well. Now, if your colors are a little bit uneven, don't worry about that at the moment. And I'll show you why. That's why I'm telling you should stick with me so you can get all the pieces to doing this. All right. Let me find my other Q-tip, which went somewhere. There it is. Okay, so now because I have my little green troll, I don't want to put green by him, and because I made his pants purple, I don't want to really use any purple. So that leaves me with blue, or in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use a lighter pink. So keep that in mind. I'm rubbing the side of my applicator into the pink that I want and applying that. Now, if you get little pieces of eyeshadow, which you can sometimes, let me show you something on this. This set is like 2 years old, and you can see a couple of the colors are just crumbled. So what's going to happen is when you go to apply it on your paper, you might get little crumblies. Don't worry about it. Just take your applicator, corral them, and then rub them into the spot that you want to accent. In other words, don't brush them off, because that would be a terrible waste. Okay. So let's go ahead and get that. Now, just to let you know also, I did this on my Facebook page under Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, and my video was a couple hours. I had people that were asking questions. I was just showing some techniques there. So if you want to see it there, you can see it there. And I'll also post this in community. With the link to this video and also to the video on Facebook. So please get into the habit of checking your community menu on Facebook. Excuse me, on YouTube. Hello. It's in the menu on YouTube, and it's to the right. Just click on community and you'll see my postings there. Okie dokie. Now, once you get skilled with the applicator, meaning you don't blow eyeshadow all over the place, this goes pretty quick. PDQ, pretty darn quick. And I'm going to blend that into the blue. Now, my point's getting a little soft, so I'm going to go ahead and get another one, a fresh one. because I have this area right here to do. And that is small. But guess what? You can do it. Remember, guys, I don't ever show you something that I don't think that you can't do. I wouldn't do that to you. So let's go ahead and hit that. All right. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, so let me show you how this is coming along. I'm very happy with the way this is coming out. Oop, let me get that. Okay. And again, you can use any colors you want. If you want to use more vibrant purples and blues and make like more of a night sky type thing, super. Now, one thing you should notice while looking at this is that these areas at the top look pretty vibrant. And that's the next step that I'm going to show you. Hold on, I missed a spot. Okay. So what I want you to notice, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, that these areas at the top are a lot more vibrant. And that's because after I added my eyeshadow, I went ahead with a comparable pencil, meaning in this case purple, and I added my shadow and my shading on the outside and then blended it in towards the middle. And as I did that, this became lighter and lighter, and it really ended up popping and looking pretty darn good. So I've done it over here, I've did it here, got a little purple here. Did it here, haven't done it here yet. And you can definitely see the difference between here and here, and also there and there. And I'll tell you what, once you get this shading in, this little puppy is really gonna pop. All right. So let me go ahead and show you this shading, and I'm going to show you in an area down here that I've done. And feel free to use your finger to blend this in. And yes, you'll get a little eyeshadow on your coloring, but I'm going to show you how to fix that as well. Okay. All right, be sure to use your paper towel or napkin or cloth or whatever you use. Because otherwise your hand's going to be in eyeshadow. All right, zoom in. Zoom in. So here's what I want you to see, because now I'm going to shade this. I'll call it detailing. So I'm going to go around the outside with a darker line. That's the starting of my shadow shading. I'm going to go around my leaves here, come out a little bit. You can choose to do that or not do it, totally up to you. Zoom out. Now, when you properly blend something, right now you can see that dark line around the outside here. And then what I'm going to do is blend that in, which means I get lighter and lighter and lighter as I go towards the center. And that dark outside line disappears from the standpoint of being stark. And you can see right now in your view how this is all starting to soften up. Now for me, I like coloring in little circles. It just blends really well. All right, let me brush that off. Looking pretty cool, isn't it? Looks really neat. Okay, I'm going to do one more spot for you, and then I'm going to show you one more technique here. Zoom in. So I've got this combo, purple and green. Darken my outside. Now I'm stopping at the purple, of course. And that line right now looks pretty dark and clunky, doesn't it? Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. So now I'm going to blend that out, which means the dark line stays there. But I just ease the coloring in towards the center to the point that the harshness disappears. And if you do it correctly, you'll start to see a lighter inner circle appear. All right. Then I'm going to take a purple pencil, because I've done the green, right? And outline my darker line. And then blend that little puppy inward. And I'll blend it into the green just a little bit. Now I've got a little more of a division line that I want there between that green and purple. So I'm very, very lightly, I'm going to take my blender pencil and get rid of that. Okay. Cool. And then just touch up any little area that you feel needs touched up. I love to tweak and fine-tune my stuff. Now, if you feel that you have obliterated your highlight spot, which I really don't feel I did, but I want to show you this. Take your Tombow. You guys know me, I absolutely love it. T-O-M, what is this? T-O-M-B-O-W, Mono Zero. It's the rounded tip, not the rectangular. I just didn't like the rectangular, it didn't work for me. And I treat it basically just like a white pencil. And I'm going through and highlighting that white area a little bit, or lighter area. I keep calling it white. Okay, zoom out, zoom out. Look how cool that looks, guys. And these two spots here now are looking just as good as these spots up here where I did the shadowing around the outside. Okay? The outside of the color. All right. Last little step here. Now, since we're using eyeshadow and we've got little fine leaves here, it can get on those leaves and darken them. So I'm going to take my little gummy eraser . I'm going to make it into a little pointed top here. And I'm just very lightly, hopefully you can hear that, pop it up and down on top of the leaves, because right now they're looking pretty dull. Zoom in zoom in, zoom in. Okay, see how dull these leaves are looking? So I'm going to go ahead and pop it. See how all of a sudden that cleared up and got a lot brighter? And notice how that second one is getting a lot brighter. And I'm going to do it on the tree as well. Now, if you get a little extra spot like I did right there, just take your pencil and fix it. Cool. Zoom out. Zoom out. All right. So let's take a look at this and see what you think. You can definitely tell where I did the outlining by shading it. See it? This whole piece is going to look like that when I'm done. By the way, let me take a second and put my eyeshadow away, because I know me, and I'll stick my fingers into it. So that's the piece. This is how it's turning out. You can see the distinct areas. You can see how plain this looks in here. And it's coming along beautifully. All right, so I'm gonna finish this up, the eyeshadow, off camera. I have to do the underside of my mushrooms. And what you may want to do, every night I'm on my Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I've got to finish the little hair and the beard, decide what to do about it. Just little things that I need to finish this up. So I will do that on camera, live, and then you can ask me questions as well. So again, that's 7 p.m. Central. This picture will be posted in community with a link to this video. So there's all sorts of ways of accessing this information. All right, guys, I hope everything made sense. I hope this opened some ideas to you for some new things. I love how this is coming out. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Please like my video. Please subscribe if you stumbled across this. That would be great. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for teaching, for teaching adult coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you had some fun with it. Oh, by the way, and this is Posca pen on the mushroom, of course. All right, guys, take it easy. Until next time then. Bye.